What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video. And as promised in yesterday's Kaisar's Legion video, this will be the last of the Fallout Commander deck techs for a while, unless I get one as a viewer request or anything like that, to celebrate the season finale of the Fallout show, which I am truly loving. And before we get into it, I want to ask, are you guys, are any of you watching the show? Do you like it? Not like it? Let me know in the comments down below. But first, without further ado, we have ourselves Mr. House, President and CEO. So who is Mr. House? Well, in the lore, he was a pre-war businessman, incredibly smart, known to know everything, but without giving spoilers, he got outwitted by some things. In game, he's a 0-4. You know, see him? He's laying there on that table there. He is a 0-4 for 3. And has, whenever you roll a 4 or higher on a die, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you rolled a 6 or higher, instead, create that token and a treasure token. And then you can pay 4, tap him, roll a 6-sided die, plus plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from treasure spent to activate this ability. So this is going to be a dice rolling deck. I'm going to let you know right off the bat, this is not meant to be a highly optimized deck. It is supposed to be a very thematic deck with dice rolling. I would say that this is probably around the, it is by letter of the law bracket 2, and I would also say that it itself, as it plays, is a bracket 2. I actually have a Mr. House deck myself. Mine is similar to this build, but on a higher budget because I play Ancient Copper Dragon, Ancient Bronze Dragon, and Ancient Gold Dragon in my deck, along with a couple other cards. But let's get in to see how we're going to roll some dice and how the house is always going to win, whether they win the game or not. So creatures, we got ourselves an Academy Manufacturer. You know, he combos with a ham sandwich or an ice cream sandwich, depending on which type of snack you want for the day. If you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create one of each. So we are going to create some tokens. We are creating treasure tokens in this deck. So this will create us some extra tokens as well. We have Brazen Dwarf. Which is whenever you roll one or more die, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So he's like the least efficient little ping everybody man of all time, but we're going to try to roll as many die as we can in this deck. We have Crime Novelist, so whenever you sacrifice an artifact, I'm going to be honest with you, he's been going in a bunch of my deck techs lately because I am really high on this card after the manager at the local game store told me about it when I was looking through their bulk bin to get cards for the Jaws deck I'm building. But Crime Novelist says whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Crime Novelist and add a red mana. And yeah, I didn't know this card existed because I'll be honest with you, I bought 0 Murders at Karloff Manor. We have Cyberman Patrol. Artifact creatures you control have Afflict 3, which is whenever a creature with Afflict becomes blocked, defending player loses 3 life. Because your 3/3 little robots are not going to be the strongest creatures in the world, so you got to give them an ability to make people lose life if they're going to block them. We do have Ancient Copper Dragon in here. I did add him in. He of this $329 budget, he constitutes nearly $100 of it. This card needs reprints. It needs lots of reprints. This card should not. And by the way, this is the cheapest version. I update the cheapest when I build my deck decks. We should not have him being $100. Come on, Wizards, please, for the love of God, give us some reprints. And not Secret Layers because they don't lower prices. Delina, Wild Mage, she's a 3/2 for 4. Whenever Delina Wild Mage attacks, choose target creature control and then roll a d20. On a 1 to 14, you create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that creature, except for you exile it at the end of combat. And then a 15 to 20 is create one of those tokens and then roll again. Notice that it just says create one of those tokens and roll again. So you get to keep doing it. If you get a 15 through 20, you get the first ability, and then, we have Goldspan Dragon, which, of course, when it enters or attacks, when it attacks or becomes a target of a spell or ability. Holy cow, I can't read. You create a treasure, and then it lets your treasures sacrifice to add 2 mana. So, like, that actually really synergizes with this. So then you can tap 2 for 4, and then you get to roll, an extra amount of die. We have Hoarding Ogre. Whenever it attacks, roll a d20. On 1 to 9, you create 1 treasure. 10 to 19, you create 2. 20, you create 3. If you nat 20 this with this chungus of a card, who knows? We've got Iron Mastiff. When he attacks, you roll a d20, and 1 to 9 deal damage equal to its power to you. So you might just low roll and biff yourself for 4. But that is the fun of chance. 10 to 19, it deals damage to its equal to its power to a defending player. And then a 20 is it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. We have Jan Jansen. You can sacrifice an artifact to create 2 treasures. You can sacrifice a non-creature artifact to create 2 1/1 construct creatures. So you can sacrifice a treasure to create 2 treasures. It's pretty fun. Kellogg. He is from the Fallout set as well. He has First Strike Haste, and whenever he attacks, create a treasure, and you can sack 5 treasures, gain control of target creature for as long as you control Kellogg. Yeah. We have, for those of you who are Fallout 4 fans, this guy is a jerk. For those of you who are not Fallout 4 fans or haven't played it, this guy's a really big jerk. We have Lashiel, Clockwork Scholar. Prevent all combat damage. It would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. So this is like a nerfed Dolmen Gate. And then whenever one or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card, and then this ability triggers only once each turn. So it's like a Dolmen Gate, and then you also get to draw. Mirkwood Bats, so when your little tokens that you're generating die, everybody gets to lose 1 life. We have Nothik. You roll a d20, of course. So 1 to 9, you draw and lose 1. 10 to 19, you draw 2, lose 2. And then 20, you draw 7, lose 7. There is no gain 7. You always lose the life. Pitiless Blunder, whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure. Professional Facebreaker, he makes treasures. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you make a treasure. You can sack a treasure, exile the top card of your library, and you can play it. Reckless Fireweaver, whenever an artifact you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. We have Scuzzback Scrounger, which is at the beginning of your first main phase. You can blight 1. If you do, create a treasure. So you can just put it on your tokens. Securotron Squadron, it's a 2/2 with Squad 3, so you can pay an additional 3 any amount of times to create copies of it, and it has Vigilance, and whenever a creature token enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. So if you manage to get enough mana to get a bunch of these, and then you create say a bunch of treasures, this is just going to dump out a bunch of 1/1 counters on things. Steel Overseer to bump our dudes. If you would roll 1 or more die, instead roll that many die plus 1 and ignore the lowest roll. So you roll at advantage. That's for those of you who don't play D&D. That is what that is called. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, put a 1/1 counter on Will, Blade of the Frontiers. We have Yes Man, Personal Securotron. Target opponent gains control of him. You get to draw 2 cards, put a quest counter on it, and then when it leaves the battlefield, you get a 1/1 white soldier for each quest counter. Sorceries. We have Attempted Murder. We got our Elvis bird here from the Infinity set. Choose target creature, roll a 6-sided die for each roll X 6-sided die for each even result. Put 2 -1/-1 counters on that creature. For each odd result, create a 1/2 blue bird creature token that's flying named Stormcrow. We have Circuit's Act. It's also from Infinity. Roll 3 6-sided die. For each different result, create a 1/1 white clown robot artifact creature token. We have a Dance Macabre, which is each player sacrifices a non-token creature. Roll a d20 and add the toughness of the creature you sacrificed this way. So, like, you add the toughness to the result. 1 to 14, return a creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. And 15 plus is return both. Up to 2. My bad. Creature cards put into a graveyard this way. under your control. Then we have Hour of Reckoning. Convoke, destroy all non-token creatures. Ruinous Ultimatum. I could drop this in favor of something that doesn't have as many pips, but I was trying, like, with Ancient Copper Dragon literally adding $100 to the budget, I was trying to keep this a little bit lower, so I put this in lieu of, like, some other stuff, but, you know, do what you will. For instance, we have Anguished Unmaking, Generous Gift, Path to Exile, Stroke of Midnight, Swords to Plowshares, and Vats and Chaos Warp for removal. It's pretty, one might say with Generous Gift, it's a pretty generous removal package. I know, I'm the worst. But I am a dad, so I can make dad jokes, I think, right? We have Big Score, discard a card, draw 2, create 2 treasures. Costly Plunder, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards. Deadly Dispute, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards, create a treasure token. Unexpected Windfall, same thing. Discard a card, draw 2, create 2 treasures. Village Rites, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. Will's Reversal, choose target spell or ability with one or more targets, roll a d20, and add the greatest power among creatures you control. You may, for 1 to 14, choose new targets. 15 plus, you can choose new targets and then copy it and choose new targets for the copy. Artifacts. All right, so this is where, like I said, this is more thematic than super strong. We are running all of the bobbleheads in here. We got Agility bobblehead, so know that all of these are going to say like X and they have an ability. They're also all mana rocks. So you tap 3, up to X target creatures you control gain haste until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. You'll see why I'm running all of the bobbleheads here in a minute. We got Arcane Signet from Mana Rock. We got Charisma Bobblehead, which creates soldiers based on the number of bobbleheads. We have Clock of Omens. This combos with Academy Manufacturer and Nuka-Cola Vending Machine. It says tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, untap target artifact. We have Nuka-Cola Vending Machine. You tap 1 to create a food, and whenever you sacrifice a food, create a tap treasure token. We have Component Pouch, which is remove a component counter from Component Pouch, add 2 mana. You can also tap to roll a d20, put a component counter on Component Pouch, or 10 to 20, put 2 component counters. Endurance Bobblehead, X creatures get +1/+0 and gain indestructible, where X is the number of bobbleheads. Intelligence is draw X cards, where X is the number of bobbleheads. We will get back to that one. Perception Bobblehead, look at the top X cards, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. You can cast a spell with mana value 3 or less from among them without paying its mana cost. Strength Bobblehead, put X/1/1 counters on target creature, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. All right, now to the Luck Bobblehead. It is pay 1 and tap it. Roll X 6-sided dice, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. Create a tap treasure token for each even result. If you rolled a 6 exactly 7 times, you win the game. So that's why we have some other cards that add extra die to our rolls. We have Mirror Mind Crown, which is as long as this equipment is attached to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of the equipped creature. I've played this card in gold fishing for some testing I wanted to do with my Mr. House, and I put it on my Ancient Copper Dragon, and I did a lot of fun things. This card's really gross. For it being $1.99, I highly recommend it. It's really good. It's really good. We already went over Nuka-Cola and Perception. We have Skull Clamp, so we can clamp some of our tokens, get some cards. We got Soul Ring in here. Our Swiftfoot Boots. We have the Deck of Many Things, so you tap 2, roll a d20, subtract the number of cards in your hand. If the result is 0 or less, discard your hand. 1 to 9, return a card at random from your graveyard to your hand. 10 to 19, draw 2 cards. And 20, put a creature card from any graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. When that creature dies, its owner loses the game. Treasure Chest, sack it, roll a d20. If you roll a nat 1, if you critically fail, you lose 3 life. 2 to 9, create 5 treasure tokens. 10 to 19, you gain 3 life, draw 3 cards. And at 20, you search for a card. If it's an artifact card, you may put it into the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. And then Vexing Puzzle Box. Whenever you roll one or more die, put a number of charge counters on it equal to the result. You can add 1 mana, roll a d20, or remove 100. Search your library for an artifact card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Enchantments. We got Barbarian class, so if you would roll 1 or more die, you roll an extra 1. And then when you roll 1 or more die, target creature gets +2/+0, and then level 3 is your creatures have haste. Descent into Avernus. I love this card. It has gained so much cost in the last year. This used to be like $9, like last year, and it is $20 now for the cheapest version. But it creates treasures and pings everybody. Reign of Riches. Create 2 treasure tokens. The first spell you cast each turn that mana from a treasure is used has Cascade. And then you have Vault 21 Gambit. Discard your hand, then draw a card. Reveal up to 5 non-land cards from your hand. For each card of those cards that was the same mana value as another card revealed this way, create a treasure token. Lands, we are running Adagia in here and Bojuka Bog. Rogue's Passage, Sussurk, Secundi Void Altar. I could probably throw Secret Tunnel in here if we make enough robots to justify it. But yeah, that's what we got here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I really like my Mr. House deck. It doesn't win a whole lot, but it is really fun to play. And ultimately, winning every game is not what Commander should be about. For me, it's about sitting down with my friends, having fun, playing some thematic decks. Whether I win or lose, I have fun. So, let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and tomorrow we will have a non-Fallout deck.